we would run into each other and, stuff like that. And then finally, about a year and a half after we met, he called me up and and this mutual friend had asked him if he was going out with anyone. He said no, and his friend suggested me. And that's how we met.
Yes, do you need to add something?
Say something.
Yeah, come here since you're going to say a little bit more.
So I just want to add my
Get into the
perspective to
camera.
this, because at the time, my late husband, Zach, and Shelley were writing partners, and they were writing together. And they would meet every Sunday, whatever it was, they would meet and they would write. And so they were supposed to write this Sunday, and he was going to go to Shelley's apartment and they were going to write whatever it was they were writing. And it was the Sunday after the first night that Shelley and Marshall had spent together.
The part that Willa doesn't write about.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So there's glowing going on.
And Zach just said it was like they were like walking around in a trance, like bumping into the stove, behind the refrigerator. Like there was really no writing that happened, and I think he left because he just thought, okay, fine, I'm not wanted. That's my contribution. To
There you go. Thank you very much.
And I will tell you something about also that I was living alone. I had lived with various other people. And one of the things that always annoyed me about being on male turf was how they would always leave the toilet seat up.
Uh-huh.
So Marshall went into the bathroom, and then he came out, and I went into the bathroom, and the toilet seat was up. And I just started ranting. I said, why do men do this? There's no
This is the first morning?
Yeah, this is after the first.
Right in there with it, yeah.
And
no honeymoon period.
He didn't answer. And Marshall was like a big guy. There's something very bearish about him. And he just walked past me back into the bedroom, and he said, Kilroy was here.
And he's leaving his mark.
And I thought, okay, I think maybe I can do this.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
This reminds me of a totally stupid story, but it's my only opportunity ever that I'm going to have to tell it. So I was on American Airlines, and I had been upgraded to first class. And as is still often the case in, let's say, 12 passenger first class section, I was the only woman. So I went, and this was back when Twitter had just kind of gotten really popular, and American Airlines had one of the best Twitter presences. So they responded to people, and they were funny and engaging. So I went to the bathroom, and of course, 11 men, me, the toilet seat was up. So I put it down, I used the bathroom, and then just to be accommodating, I put the toilet seat back up because that's where it belonged. And then I thought, I'm going to tweet about that. So I tweeted it, and American Airlines responded and said, thanks so much for being so thoughtful, or whatever it is.
Because you put it back up.
Yes, because I put it back up.
Oh boy, yeah. So
that's a populist move right there. That's
yeah. I would say that one thing I really liked about Marshall was that he was really a student of human behavior in urban settings.
Yeah.
And I thought that was some of the best, the most acute observations that he had to make were about what happens to humans in urban settings, and how that's kind of like a unique expression of humanity, both good and bad. I mean, like he loved graffiti, as I understand, right?
Oh, I've got stories about that
too.
But when he died, and it just so happened, and he really was known as an urbanist and almost like a Socrates of New York. And he happened to die in the Metro Diner having breakfast with his friend Mel on September 11th, 2013.
Wow.
Eating bacon.
eating bacon. And,
He's a good
As
Jew.
a Jew, which
As
is,
a good Jew.
no.
It's really important to go to deli and eat
Right.
bacon.
so, so that was, so when he died, he had been working on a book that was going to be called The Romance of Public Space.
Hmm.
He'd written about the Greeks and the Romans, mostly the Greeks, and that had already been published somewhere. And that summer, he had been working on the Bible, the public space in the Torah or in the Old Testament.
Mm,
And he and the day he died, he was revising the part about Adam and Eve.
Oh,
But so that is where his heart was.
wow. Beautiful.
So
Yeah, you were both so influenced by seeking after that city on a hill. Yeah.
yeah,
well, there you have it. That's the Pandas Playing Cello New York, Manhattan edition.